Brodes Media.
Another dreadful Sunday, unfortunately. Before we continue to discuss what the hell just happened, if you are new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the thumbs up button as well. We break down the Sixers, Eagles, Flyers, Phillies every single damn day here, so hop on board. It's a lot of fun. Real quickly, if you are planning on going to a Sixers game, an NBA game in general, hockey's back, football, you can utilize the promo code BRODES at SeatGeek's checkout page for $20 off of your purchase. That's basically eliminating the fees. It's a no-brainer, so make sure you do that. And with that being said, enjoy the show. What is going on, everyone? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Brodes. That was just an ass whooping to the point where that fourth quarter, I was scrolling through TikTok and barely picking my head up because it was just nonsense and basically trash, right? Jalen Hurt running around and then throwing a pass to Jalen Rager, all that stuff. They are horrendous, and what they do is they make things look better by scoring touchdowns that are so damn irrelevant. I have a statistic here, and I did not plan to start off with this, but since it kind of came up naturally, I'll throw it your way, and this is courtesy of John Clark of NBC Sports Philadelphia. Eagles, their last 6 games, they got down 30-7 at one point today. They were down 20-8-7 to the Bucks. They were down 15-6 to Carolina. They were down 28-16 to the Chiefs. They were down 27-7 to the Dallas Cowboys and down 17-3 to the 49ers. They started off nice with putting Jalen Hurt under center, running the football. Miles Sanders had 5 carries for 25 yards. They were able to utilize play action and hit Dallas Goedert. Things actually looked smooth. Wow, a touchdown, a pass to Kenneth Gainwell. He ran it in, and then from that moment, they basically kind of went in another direction. Now, once Miles Sanders went down, I thought it was pretty damn obvious that they weren't going to establish the same sort of brand of football. And when you throw Kenneth Gainwell into the fire and run him through the tackles when that doesn't suit him best, you know, that bothers me considering, and I know I'm not saying you have a bunch of options, and Boston Scott is some miracle worker, especially considering he has barely played this year, but we were informed that this team, this coaching staff would put players in the right positions to succeed. Yet Jonathan Gannon is the biggest embarrassment I've ever seen in my life. Once you hear Fletcher Cox after the game basically throw the coach under the bus, I just got to do what's called, and I'm paid not to protect screenplays. I'm paid to go hit the quarterback. I'm paid to go be aggressive and to be an aggressive player. And then you hear Rodney McLeod, a veteran player on the defense, state, we're running out of time. I think it's pretty clear what the message is. All right, the coaching staff is losing the players from every single angle of the team right now. And as they should. That's what happens when you have this disgusting effort and when you have a team. That one drive, oh, my Lord, that one drive made me sick. Jason Kelsey is taking his helmet off. He's ready to throw punches. He's ready to throw swings. What was that sequence? It was horrendous. Rager fumbled the kickoff. The score at this point is 24-7. And here goes the Raiders down the field, nonstop running the ball. Derek Carr was 31 of 34 with over a 90% completion percentage, which is nearly impossible, yet he was able to do it. This whole soft coverage is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my damn life. Let's wait for the mistake, right? Because it worked in the first drive, so everyone thought, oh, maybe there's a method to the madness because Avonte Maddox ended up picking off Derek Carr. Oh, yeah, from there you're talking, 16 straight completions. They went on a 70-plus drive, no third down conversions needed. A 90-plus drive, no third down completions needed. After the embarrassment, and I'm using embarrassing a handful of times already, to go for the onside kick to surprise everybody. No third down conversions needed on a touchdown drive. And for the people that are justifying the move by Nick Sirianni to attempt that, I understand. You're right. It's called desperation. So, I don't mind it because their offense can't get going and their defense can't stop a damn thing. Yeah, well, that's the only way in hell you could ever live with a decision like that. When you blow so much and you suck so badly, that it's your only option because actually playing the sport of football doesn't work. That's why I really don't support the whole, well, I could live with it or I don't mind it. Yeah, you don't mind it because they suck. They're not actually a good football team, and that's why you don't mind it. There was actually a part of me that was questioning if Nick Sirianni wasn't as dumb as I thought he was, and it was because of Jalen Hurts not being able to be efficient enough that's really making Nick Sirianni look even worse. But at the end of the day, I think I have my answer. They're all bad. Jonathan Gannon, bad. Nick Sirianni, bad. Jalen Hurts, bad. Missing Devontae Smith a handful of times where, sure, Devontae Smith might have his hands on the ball, but he's got to reach all the way behind him. Yet I'm watching Derek Carr with zip hitting Hunter Renfrow with a slant pass. I'm watching him have zip on all of his throws that are beating the zone and hitting his players wide open. How many times, and I even heard this on the broadcast, it looks like practice out there for the Vegas Raiders. And I remember at times against the Buccaneers, it looks like Tom Brady's just doing whatever he wants to do. Yeah, these quarterbacks can just pitch and catch all day to the point where I'm watching fullbacks get wide open in the passing game on Davion Taylor. And this run game and Josh Jacobs, and I know he ended up leaving the game, but just in general, it wasn't good. They're not good. They can't run the ball well. But against these linebackers all day, at will, nonstop, whatever they wanted. None of these throws were really high pressure. There were two that were. One resulted in the interception, and the other was, 3rd and 1? It was after Kenneth Gainwell's fumble right before half. I thought maybe the Raiders would punch it in and find a way to score, but Josh Sweat hit, it looked like Derek Carr's elbow during the throwing motion, which made the throw short. So you had two times where he actually had some sort of pressure, but ultimately, your offensive line and your defensive line got hosed. Mailata, really bad day. Now, it doesn't help that you're playing left tackle, then you're playing right tackle, then you're playing left tackle. I'm talking about season lengthwise, right? You start out left tackle, then you have to move to right for a couple games. Now you're back to left, and then in this game specifically, Lane Johnson left after his ankle got stepped on, so he had to go back to right. But Ngakoue was eating lunch all day long, getting to Jalen Hurts. Do we need to talk about Max Crosby? His name getting thrown around there too. That was something that was highlighted before the game. And guess what? Their defensive line came to play. But I wanted to bring up a point about one of the worst sequences and one of the worst drives ever that really just summarized the debacle that is here in Philadelphia. Jalen Reagor fumbled the football and ended up going out of bounds. Mailata penalty on a Jalen Hurts 22-yard gain. A Hurts slide short of the first down sticks where he had an opportunity to get the first down for sure. There was a delay of game, but it was snapped anyway. There was a fumble on there. He would have got sacked. Now, the whistles were blowing, but at the same time, the play still went on. It was one of those where the refs were trying to run it, and I just point out that, it was a delay of game. Jason Kelce wasn't able to get the snap off, but even when the snap did happen, Jalen Hurts fumbled it, and here comes some pressure. It was just a nightmare scenario. Hurts gets hit. He throws a little flip pass. There was a fumble on that. Kelce has no helmet. The ball's flying around all over the place. I witnessed a couple times, and it just makes me wonder the buy-in factor, and it's crazy that I'm saying this about Jalen Hurts, but I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he's definitely, I'm trying to say here, questioning what's happening a bit here with the coaching staff as well, although he should look in the mirror too. Getting out of bounds when he could be scoring a touchdown or at least getting the first down by the goal line. Didn't feel like getting that extra hit. I don't know. If you're on a winning team, with a team that's playing with swagger and a team that's playing strong, I don't think you're sliding early. I don't think you're sliding before the first down marker and getting out of bounds before the first line marker when you can easily lower your shoulder and possibly even score a touchdown on one of those. It seemed, you know what, I feel like saving my body. I don't feel like it's worth it. It honestly felt like that, and it's weird from him knowing his mentality and knowing his approach to the game of football, but I think it's telling, especially after you hear Fletch, after you hear Rodney McLeod. It honestly helps describe the tone that's in the locker room right now, which I was very afraid of the moment that I heard Nick Sirianni speak for the first time. And even when I'm hearing him speak afterwards, he's always saying things twice out of his mouth, and he's always talking in circles. I hate his answers. I hate hearing him speak. And then he even gives us the whole, it starts with me. My name is tied to a lot of this. Well, then I guess you're going to have another brutal conversation with Jonathan Gannon, and there's going to have to be more self-scouting. You had extra time to come up with this game plan. And for those who say, well, at least the first drive was fine. Yeah, you know how much more is involved in being a head coach than just your first plays? Yes, that is a part of it. That is a percentage of it. What happens, and this might be the most important part, what happens when you get off that script because it's time to coach in-game? Don't you think that's more important? Don't you think that's more valuable? The answer is absolutely nothing. You fall back to going back into shotgun. Dallas Goedert's supposed to be a key piece to this offense. He's barely targeted. Once again, maybe that's a problem with your quarterback, though, who isn't a consistent thrower and doesn't have the pinpoint accuracy that you need at an effective level to be efficient enough to constantly move the chains the way that you need to actually score the damn rock. I don't care about what happens late. I don't care that it was 33-22 instead of 30-something to 7. I don't care. I don't care. They got their asses handed to them once again. Trenches destroyed. And guess what? This offensive line for the Raiders, very beatable. Which makes me wonder about this whole soft idea, and let's keep everything in front of us. And then you had to hear during the broadcast, we spoke with Jonathan Gannon the other day, and when he really described what he wanted to do, it made perfect sense. No, it doesn't. It sucks. It sucks. It makes no sense. And do you know how much of this, too, where, here's the theory. Well, I don't want to get beat with one play for 80 yards, but I'd happily get beat for 80 yards if it's 10 plays because it's not one play. In what universe? You're still getting torched for 80 yards. It was simple pitch and catch throughout the entirety of the game. Derek Carr is putting up historic numbers today. Sam Darnold stinks. He got benched for P.J. who? I'm watching Red Zone through the 1 o'clock hour, and they're throwing P.J. Tucker out there, going NBA on us. P.J. who? Sam Darnold stinks. Matt Ryan week 1 stinks. This whole idea of, we'll just wait for them to make costly mistakes. That doesn't work in the professional leagues. This is the National Football League. And the crazy part is, I will say this, Jonathan Gannon was a hot item around all of football. So this isn't the same as Nick Sirianni, which comes to no surprise. Jonathan Gannon comes to more of a surprise because of there was a lot of attraction tied to what he has accomplished and a lot of great thoughts about what he can become. The whole he's going to be a future head coach thing was way too damn premature, and I never understood that narrative. But just in terms of being a competent defensive coordinator, I thought that was an obvious no-brainer at the time of the hiring. This hiring wasn't a disaster from the jump. Nick Sirianni, yes. Jonathan Gannon, we all talked all offseason long. I can't wait to see his disguises, and I can't wait to see how he adapts with this team. Even though there's linebacker issues, there's still enough here with Darius Slay, Avonte Maddox, Steven Nelson, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave. But you're telling one of your most important aggressive players to just worry about the screen game, as Fletcher alluded to after the game. It's like, what are we doing here? Get on them. The ball's coming out quickly. Guys are wide open right from the jump. You have to wonder what a defense is going to do. You can't walk up to the line of scrimmage and automatically know. It's unfortunate because I watched Ngakoue. No, real quick. How about that play where he just bats the ball down insanely? He's literally jumping in front of Jalen Hurt. This was early on in the game. It was right after there was actually some nice drive. It was the Eagles' second drive of the game. 3rd and 2, Hurts runs for a first. Sander gets a first down when they're under center again. Sander gets injured after the Perryman tackle. Hurts should have been picked off. Ngakoue ended up getting beat pretty good. He beat Jordan Mailata pretty good, and then he ends up batting down the next pass, but easily. He was literally doing jumping jacks in his face and just batted it down. I believe we're going for the good old whomping screen attempt. Stop me if you heard that before. Although I'm sitting here watching the screen work efficiently for the other team. It really is amazing that we are here and it looks as ugly as it does. This is, I don't feel like competing anymore style. And this is what it could not have gotten to, and it did. We are in the territory of the Detroit Lions, who are 0-7. We are now looking at that right in the face and saying, this is a must-win football game. This is a crucial win that you need to get. And I sit here today, and maybe I'm an absolute douchebag for saying this, but I still believe the Eagles are in a better spot than the Lions. So we'll see, though. Time will tell. Maybe I'm wrong. But I like to imagine that we're still in a better position than, let's say, where the Detroit Lions are. And we'll find out big time, although they put up a pretty good fight against the Matthew Stafford-led Rams today. What did that score end up being? It ended up being 28-19 by the end of it. The Rams scored 11 points in the fourth quarter to snag that victory. But, yeah, I mean, they're bad. They're real bad. But are the Eagles in that same category as Rams-Jets? As much as I want to say no, there's a part of me that thinks, yeah, you're a douche, Brodes. You're absolutely 1,000% a douche. And I know what's coming, right? The whole Howie, Jeffrey Lurie, Nick Sirianni, Jonathan Gannon, the what are you going to do, what's best for this franchise long-term thing. And I've been on the record saying this a bunch. If they make change, there's definitely validity to making change with Howie Roseman. I always say that people act as if he's done nothing in this league, which is totally unfair. But as of late, it's clearly not been strong enough where if they go in another direction, by no means am I upset, am I disappointed, am I pissed off. I can easily see this team heading in another direction. And quite frankly, after so many years of a same regime, I'm not against it. So I would be totally 1,000% fine with that. And it seems to be trending in the direction of we're not in a positive state of mind afterwards. There were two things that we were really trying to assess this season. Who is Nick Sirianni? Who is Jalen Hurt? But during that method of finding out what they are, things should be looking smoother than what we're witnessing now. Win total wasn't going to be strong, but it was about figuring out who they are but it not being this. I mean, this is on a whole nother level of unacceptable. So if the Eagles ever elect to go in this other direction, okay, all right, I'm here for it. I'm not against it. I'm watching the same football as everybody else. My point that I always bring up is, I'll keep it to you simple. And today's not the day to truly dive deep into it. I'm just going to throw it out there. All our lives, we say, you're nothing until you win a championship. Then Howie Roseman puts together that championship, and then it's he got lucky, he's really awful. That doesn't count because he's really not that good. How in the world does that make sense? I can never wrap my head around that. That's all we care about our entire lives. You're nothing until you win something. You finally win something. Yeah, that one doesn't count, though. That one doesn't count. That's my thought. Anyway, I digress. If we make some major changes, by all means, I'm here for it. I'm supporting it. It's clear that this team is a mess. And look, Darren Waller's not even playing. So you start the game off, and we knew Anthony Harris with the double hand and the hamstring issue was, I don't know how the hell that happens. What's he doing in his spare time? What's he doing in his free time? I have no idea. I don't want to do it, though, because clearly he's in some pain. Marcus Epps is in there, and now they're throwing different tight ends your way, making insane catches on Marcus Epps to score touchdowns. But with Darren Waller out, even had more of an advantage. The Raiders stink running the ball. You're taking away some of their weapons, but we knew that they can pass the football and get plays that are 20-plus yards, while the Eagles can stop 20-plus yards plays statistically before this game entering the night, and they just got annihilated left and right. I am disgusted in Jonathan Gannon. And obviously, I think it's as clear as day that where Nick Sirianni is and where Jalen Hurts is, it's putrid too. But, Jonathan Gannon, the expectations were actually high for this guy, and he's basically been a fool trying to tell us that, this is great. You keep everything in front of you. Don't worry about it. Your offense, I never even think, I don't even think I got to this point yet because I've just been in so many different directions here. But when your offense is not able to get on the field and they go 3 and out anyway, or they have to punt at some point because they can't get efficient plays rocking. But if your defense is consistently on the field for 9-minute drives, 8-minute drives, 12-play drives, 7-minute drives, and you can't get off the field, and then your offense is incompetent, but they're barely out there, shocker that we're witnessing this. The onside kick makes me laugh. The fumble where the snap gets deflected by Landon Dickerson. When was the last time you saw a guard off the snap end up deflecting the ball during the process of it going back towards the quarterback? And the play before that, the Raiders are jumping over your lineman to make the stop on a QB sneak. There was a ballsy, and I mean very ballsy play call by Nick Sirianni. The score at the time was 7-7. The Raiders just scored. It was a 3rd and 9. They ended up running the ball. It became 4th and short. It was 4th and 1. They went for it on their own 35-yard line. They got the QB sneak. I thought it was very close. They did not show an instant replay for me at the line of where the line of scrimmage was, but it did seem, I don't know about that one, but okay, we'll take it. They ended up getting a 3rd and 3. Landon Dickerson had a false start, make it 3rd and 8. And then sacked as Jordan Mailata got absolutely waxed and torched. And there goes Ngakoue again, making some noise and exploding. Yeah, it was tough. The Raiders are not that good. They're not that good, where you're not even involved in the game and it's a snooze fest and you're barely paying attention in the fourth quarter. They are absolutely 1,000% not on that level. You made them look that way. So let's go through the test again. When you play competent quarterbacks and elite quarterbacks in this league, Jonathan Gannon's plan gets crushed easily, as if it looks like it's practice in August before you even have the joint practices. Hey, it's time to do something different because we cannot be walking up to the line of scrimmage and the other team easily pointing it out. I talked to somebody who is around the league, and they told me that it is the most predictable thing in the world. They know all of the checkdowns. As soon as a check is made, they know instantly where Jalen Hurt is going with the football. And you don't think that that's a problem? And you don't think other teams can walk up defensively to Jonathan Gannon and know the exact thing? When I'm watching Derek Carr drop back, and he's already anticipating the throw. He knows the zone beater. He knows exactly where he's going with it. He's just leading his receiver right there. And then here's Jalen Hurts with a throw 5 yards behind Devontae Smith, who you could clearly see was frustrated. I watched Jason Kelsey get that big-time penalty. I'm watching them call timeout, and Devontae Smith is throwing a little bit of a tantrum on the field before they go to commercial break. There was also another timeout usage that was just piss poor by Nick Sirianni. It actually helped out the Raiders score a touchdown. 14-7, that's when they scored. It was during their 96-yard drive with no third downs. Barnett misses Josh Jacobs, who has not been having a good season. Jacobs hasn't. He ended up leaving the game with an injury right around the time Miles Sanders did. But Derek Barnett needs to be able to make that tackle and stop it. Calling timeout. Classic. So the game speeds up on him once again. That's a common theme. He doesn't know how to properly go through a game on the sidelines. Time management is awful. And this isn't even the same as, oh, Andy Reid's bad at time management. You thought he was bad? This is being clueless. There's a difference just between having some hiccups along the way and then being so damn lost. It was even telling after the game, too, about, he was asked, Nick Sirianni was asked about how he talks to Jonathan Gannon about the defense and what they should run and how they should change things up. And he talks about, I'm the offensive coordinator. I focus on watching the offensive tape. Sure, everything that happens on the field has my name on it and it has my Nick Sirianni tag on what's happening. So, yeah, I do have the final say on things, but they watch the defensive tape more, and I'm more focused on the offensive tape. And that really stood out to me because, yeah, I understand how that works. My point is when you're a head coach and you're an offensive guy, there's more to head coaching than just putting together the plays and putting together the script and then everything else. You have the defense. You have special teams. You are a main focus of the entire unit. It's not that simple. It's a tough task. And that's why we expected there to be a lot of issues with Nick Sirianni to start. This is not easy. and he's clearly overwhelmed by all these angles. He now has to take control of what's going on with Jonathan Gannon. So now he stinks on his own side of the ball, and he now has to step in to help out Jonathan Gannon, and he's going to have an imprint there. He can't even do his own job. Now we're adding more. Now we're looking at the pile. It keeps growing for a young coach who's never been in that position before. It shouldn't be surprising at all, but here we are. It's amazing, isn't it? Running Gainwell through the tackles after that with 1:34 to go, whether his knee was down or not. And yeah, it probably was. What are we doing running Kenneth Gainwell through the tackles? Please, let me know, somebody. The NBA is back, and at DraftKings Sportsbook, an authorized sports betting partner of the NBA, the key to victory is a strong starting five. New customers can bet just $5 on any NBA team to win their game, and if they do, you win $200 in free bets. So why not make your roster Washington, 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 and oh yeah, Washington. DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also get skin in the game with new same-game parlays. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code Brodes. Bet just $5 on any NBA team to win their game and win $200 in free bets. If they win, you win with promo code Brodes this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an authorized sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. And another thing that I just noticed I did not mention yet, when it was 30-7, it was the 4th and 1 touchdown at the goal line. There was a play on 3rd down to Renfro that was clearly not a catch to put the Raiders at the goal line that Nick Sirianni did not challenge. So that's just another example of being there in real time with the headset on, where everything is nonstop just going, and he cannot find control, and that is a problem. And as I'm discussing this, something just popped into my brain, speaking about the defense and their issues. Seth Joyner on the postgame show talked about this, and we were told fundamentals, right? We were told that they would be detailed, they would be focused on all of the technical side of things, where, well, apparently they're not even lined up with their footwork the right way, where these players now have to switch their legs as the play is going on when the ball is hiked. What are we doing here? Early on, we're going to do all the little things right and focus on so many details that when the ball is snapped on Sunday, it's happening because of natural instincts. It's taking over your body because all we're doing nonstop is the little things, the little things, the little things, the little things, the little things. So the little things just happen naturally and you don't have to think about it. Yet, here's Seth Joyner telling us that these players on the defensive side of the ball, their footwork is off. What are we doing here? Oh, man. Like, I knew this would be a tough season, for sure. I thought this would be a winnable game, considering where the line was to open up. And this was. I mean, we went through the keys to victory. And this was lined up for a possible win. I didn't say it would happen. I said it was possible as long as you stick in certain areas. Running the football was a way for you to win. And once Miles Sanders went down, and once they fell behind, you knew just based off of the track record of what Nick Sirianni believes in, they were going to go back to shotgun, throw the ball a lot, and that puts your quarterback in a tough spot considering that's not his strong suit whatsoever, and that's what the other team wants you to do as well. But one of my biggest questions was, when Sam Darnold and Matt Ryan struggle and all the other great quarterbacks succeed, well, Derek Carr is somewhere in the middle of that. What's he going to look like? Whew, no answers is an understatement. But there was a way to be more efficient offensively and to hang in there. I remember a couple games ago, there were stunts up front with that defensive line. They were being more active. They were getting to the quarterback. I mentioned the 2 times they got to the quarterback. What happened? One was an interception by Avonte Maddox that tipped off of a wide receiver for the Raiders. And then the other one was an incomplete pass because Josh Sweat got to the quarterback. But they were creative in disguise and man-to-man and going to zone against the Panthers. I guess the difference is, and nobody wanted to hear it at the time because you didn't have enough of a sample size on the Panthers yet, and they won a couple games in the beginning of the season that made everybody feel they were better than what they truly were. I said, yeah, you know what? Well, it wasn't awful by the defense because clearly they created some turnovers. I like Darius Slay. Sam Darnold hit Darius Slay in the damn chest with that second interception in that game. The first one was an outstanding reach by Darius Slay, but the second one, he just threw it right there. And then for that third interception, Steven Nelson, who knew what Sam Darnold was doing, who knew what was going on in his brain. So I wasn't trying to downplay what the defense did, but that decision-making was god-awful. You don't play that in the National Football League a lot. More times than not, you got competent. Unfortunately, I guess we don't. Unfortunately, every other team but this team, with the Eagles uniform, and a couple other ones, Houston, Lions, apparently the Chiefs at this point, obviously not on the same level as what we're witnessing, but Pat Mahomes went down, and that was a very unfortunate injury, very scary. Hopefully he's okay. The way that his head was kind of snapping back when that hit happened as he was going down to the ground. So, yeah, obviously there's teams out there that are bad. Obviously, I'm just saying. More times than not, you're going to face a quarterback in this league that can play simple pitch and catch, and that can expose this Jonathan Gannon garbage. That's basically how I'm going to continue to describe it. And with that being said, we're going to shut it down here. Before we head out of here, let me tell you about my friends over at BetQL. Do you want to get an advantage over your sportsbook? Download BetQL, the only app you'll need to make smart bets. Their best bet computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you a best bet recommendation for every single game across all major sports and gives you the reasoning why behind why you should place that bet. Their model covers everything: spreads, over-unders, and player props. There's line movements so you can jump on betting opportunities. Sharp data so you can see who the professionals are backing. Head to the App Store or Google Play Store now to download BetQL. Enter the discount code Brodes at payment checkout for 25% off any of their subscription offerings. You can find this information down below in the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.